Hello and welcome back once again to yet another video of writing skill, that is 3.6 group discussion, which is an optional writing skill and it is for 4 marks. Well, group discussion is defined as a form of group communication in which the participants share their ideas and opinions on a given topic and exchange some information. We can certainly say that it's a formal way of discussing a certain topic and reach to a conclusion. However, all the writing skills do have some objectives, and so here are some of the objectives of group discussion. These are some of the advantages or benefits of group discussion. When you practice for a group discussion topics, it helps you in many ways. By critical analysis, leading, judging, agreeing or disagreeing, you develop your personality and it also increases your confidence. Students, here in the board exam, you have to write this group discussion. So it's not based on your performance. So it's not all about the communication skill and the oral performance. But here, your written presentation matters. So let us see what are the types of communication or the types of group discussion and how to deal with it. Basically, there are 4 types of topics on which GD topics are best. So let us see all the topics one by one. Okay, let us see the first topic, that is factual topic. Factual topics are actually about practical things which is an ordinary person is aware of in his day-to-day life. So typically these are all about socio-economic topics and these can be about current affairs. A factual topic for this group discussion gives a candidate a chance to prove that he is aware of the general knowledge or the current affairs. And so it is important for the participants or the candidate to keep the knowledge of the current affairs. There are some examples of the factual topic. For example, plastic should be banned, or the role of ICT, that is information and communication technology, in education. This is one more addition of the type, that is opinion seeking topic. In such topics, candidates are asked to put across their opinions and their point of views. Examples related to this are nuclear family or joint family, love marriage or arranged marriage, democratic or authoritarian views, and so on. So these types of topics require your personal opinion or your own perspective regarding the topic. Well, next topic is abstract topics. Abstract topics are the topics which test your lateral thinking and creativity. Such topics can be interpreted in different ways by the candidates. In such topics, the comprehension skills and the communication skills are judged, and such topics are based on your perception. The way you look at the particular topic decides your subsequent participation and performance. The challenge here is to put forth multiple implications of the topic and then evoke a discussion on some of them. So here you have to generate different ideas and your ability about putting forth different angles to a particular topic is tested. Here are some examples of the abstract topics: hard work or smart work, peer pressure, does it make or mar your future, night owls versus early birds, what do you prefer? Next topic is the case study topics. In case study topics, It tries to stimulate a real life situation. Information about the situation is given to you, and you are asked as a group leader to resolve the situation. So, in the case study, there are no incorrect answers or perfect solutions. The objective in the case study is to think about the situation from different angles. We'll discuss about the examples later on. Well, conversational topics are the ones that are argumentative in nature, and the idea behind these topics is to see how much maturity the candidate is displaying by keeping his temper in check, by rationally and logically arguing his point of view without getting personal and emotional. Here are some examples. Women are better managers. Reservation should be removed. Religion and politics. Existence of God, and so on. While exploring the best ways to start a group discussion, gearing up for some starting lines will always help you to prepare for this situation. And here is a list of some useful phrases for group discussion in English. Usually, these lines or these initiative lines for the group discussion should always be ready with us when we have to attempt such kind of questions in GD. Some of the lines which are given here are: I would like to start by stating my view of the matter. I would like to put forward the point that. You can start with a quote as Mr. X once had said. If you are giving a definition related to the topic, dash is defined as. I'm sure that some of you might agree on my point while others might not, but I would like to say that. Firstly, when you initiate a discussion, that not only shows your confidence, but you also prove your ability to lead the group in the right direction. But it's important that you give a logical points while speaking first. So here are some phrases that can be useful for you. The first one, with due respect, I would like to put forward the point that. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to begin or start by saying that. I would like to begin by stating my view of the matter. Let me take the privilege of starting the discussion. There are many more ways to initiate the group discussion. First of all, start off with a famous but relevant quotation or a phrase. Here, what can you do? You can start your GD with a quotation or a relevant phrase by a famous person that can definitely help you to show your command over the English language and literature. Not only quoting is an efficient way of starting a GD, but it also works as a confidence booster. Next one is you can start your group discussion with an anecdote, because mentioning anecdotes of not more than 4 to 5 lines can do wonders when you are confused about how to start a group discussion. A small incident from any famous story would reflect your presence of mind and also engage other participants to listen to your perspective. Next point is start with a question and answer it yourself. This can be a very good beginning of your group discussion. This is another effective way actually on how to start a group discussion. Here you can frame a question and answer it all by yourself, stating the relevant facts and detail rather than throwing a question at other candidates. For example, if the topic for the group discussion is how COVID-19 has changed the education sector, so you can begin with a simple question Like, does a pandemic hold the power to affect our education system? And then continue with the introduction of the topic. But make sure that the question or the quote remains neutral and doesn't really add any positive or negative opinion to your topic, because this is just an introduction and you have not yet reached to the conclusion. Most of all, throughout the group discussion, it is necessary to keep in mind that the objective of this task is cooperation and a practical conclusion. So, it is essential that you make your point while respecting others' views and opinions. So, some phrases are here. I totally agree with. As a matter of fact, X is right by saying that. I think you are absolutely right. I have to side with X on this one. There can be no doubt that. There are few more phrases through which you can show you that you are agreeing to someone else's opinion, and these phrases are: I quite agree, I agree completely or entirely, I couldn't agree with you more, I entirely, completely agree with you on that, that's true or that's right, that's just it, quite, exactly, precisely, right, certainly, definitely, you are quite so right, I think so too, I don't think so either, that's just my feeling or opinion, that's just how I see it, or that's just how I feel about it too. Some more phrases are here. That's very good. That's an important point. You have got a very good point here. Yes, of course, definitely, absolutely, marvelous. That's exactly what I mean. Yes, that's obvious. That's exactly how I see it. That's what I think. How very true. So do I, so am I. Yes, indeed. I'm all in favor of what you have been saying. Disagreeing should be done appropriately, or else it could sound almost rude and impolite. So, the following phrases will help you to disagree politely. The first one is: with due respect, I believe it would be wrong to. With due respect, I would only partly agree to that. I feel it wouldn't be right to. Though I agree with, it seems to me that. There are some more ways to express your polite disagreement. I disagree with you, I'm afraid. No, I really can't agree, I'm afraid. I don't quite agree there. I'm not so certain. I'm not so sure at all. That's true. I'm not quite so sure. I'm sorry, I can't agree. I'm not convinced that. Well, that's one way of looking at it, but well, I have my doubts about that. Do you really think so? Or do you really believe that? You can't really mean that. You don't really mean that, do you? I wouldn't say so. I don't think so. I don't think you are right. That's right. Surely you don't mean that. I don't want to argue with you, but I can't go all the way with you on that point. Are you seriously suggesting that? I have my problems with what you are saying. When you are suggesting or expressing your opinion on a certain topic, your points must be convincing and assertive. Moreover, putting your idea into comprehensible sentences is necessary. Therefore, following phrases will help you for the same. So, the first phrase is, my honest opinion would be that, the way I see it, the point I would like to make is that, I would like to say that, I am of the opinion that. When you present your opinion, you can make use of some phrases like the first one, in my opinion or in my view. If you ask me, as far as I can see, as far as I am concerned, it seems to me that, I have a feeling that, I think or I feel. Well, I'd say, if you want my opinion, you can take it from me that, first of all, to start with, I'd like to point out what we have to decide is, there can be no doubt that, it's a fact that, nobody will deny that, the way as I see it, everyone knows. Let me put it this or another way. Let's get this clear first. The point I am trying to make is, personally speaking, I think, I am absolutely convinced that, my view or my point of view is that, the way I look at or the way I see it is this. What I actually meant was, these phrases or opening lines can help you while asking for opinions. For example, could you tell me? What do you think about it, or what do you think of it? What's your opinion about? Do you think? Do you feel? May I ask you? How do you feel about? While giving an explanation about your topic, you can make use of these phrases. Look, it's like this. What I mean is, the reason for this is, the main problem is, let me just explain, or just let me explain. Well, the reason is, well, the thing is, above all, we must keep in mind that, when you are asking someone to explain their views or opinion on a particular topic, you can use these lines or phrases. For example, could you explain to me? Could someone please tell me? Just tell me the reason why. I don't really understand. I just don't see why. Are you saying that? What do you mean by that? I beg your pardon. I didn't quite get that. Excuse me. Did you say that? While showing that you are agree to someone else on a particular point, you can use these phrases and lines. Yes, perhaps, but. Yes, but on the other hand. Yes, up to a point. I agree up to a certain point, but. Yes, in a way. Maybe, I suppose so. Well, it depends. I see what you mean, but I think that's not the whole story. You may be right there. Yes, But there is also another aspect to consider. I don't think it's as simple as that. Yes, possibly, although. Sometimes there occur a situation where you have to interrupt because you want to add a valuable information to the already made point. Therefore, here are some phrases which you can use in such situations. For example, sorry to interrupt, but I would like to add here that is it okay if I add something here? If I may interrupt, I would like to add that. Let us see how to conclude a group discussion. First of all, summarize all the points. The best way to conclude is to summarize all the points that you have discussed in brief and present your final take on the subject being discussed. At the same time, it's important that you should not raise new point at the end and be concise. Make sure that you don't drag your conclusion. So keep it as short as possible and try to mention the points clearly. Here is a list of some topics for group discussion. If you Google, you can find variety of topics for group discussion. So some of the topics which are based on the abstract topics. Some more examples of socio-political group discussion topics. Should women join the army in more numbers? Movies encourage social evils. Justice delayed is as good as justice denied. Reservation should be removed from the public sector. Indian entertainment, where is the industry headed? The beauty and fashion industries are degrading womanhood. This is just a sample of group discussion wherein the names of the participants are written on the left hand side and their dialogues are written on the right hand side. And always remember that you have to maintain the alignment of the dialogues. Now let us see how a question is framed on group discussion. Here the topic has been given to you and names of participants are also mentioned, and you have to write the dialogues or the opinions of those participants on the given topic. But don't just write down just a single dialogue for each participants. You are expected to write at least 4 to 5 lines per participants. Make sure that you write at least one page of your answer sheet. So the total answer, the total group discussion should be about one page. So it's roughly around 120 or 130 words, but word count is not possible. So always remember the length should be around one page. That should be with the moderate and medium handwriting. Now let us solve one example of GD, and the topic is learning by doing in education. See, the first character or the first participant is Anna and her dialogues are: Good morning friends. Today we are here to discuss on the topic learning by doing in education. Learning by doing in education generally means practical and experimental learning, which is nothing but learning the concepts and theories through practice by doing them. This is one of the effective ways of learning by which one remembers the concepts very well. Next participant is Maria. Of course, it is the best way to learn, but the present education system in our country has still conventional approach which mainly concentrates on mugging up the concepts and scoring marks where academics performance is given high importance. Next character or the participant is Ria, and her opinion is, yes Maria. Adding to this, I would like to say that we used to have Gurukul education system in our country before British rule. In that system, generally students used to have an interaction with the guru or the teacher, and the learning was almost practical, which imparted the creativity and imagination in the students. But later on, during British rule, they introduced the British education system where reading and writing were given prior importance. Next participant is Sam, and his opinion is that I agree with what you said. Learning by doing is highly effective. For example, if we consider history and social subjects, to read and remember is very difficult. Alternatively, if we show the same history concepts in the form of movie, it is easy to understand and remember as well. Visual learning will have high impact than normal reading. In the same way, the science experiments can be very well analyzed and remembered through experimenting them. Next participant is Franklin, and his opinion is, I would like to agree to this point. Indeed, many foreign countries follow the same education system which Sam mentioned, whereas our education system focuses mainly on academic excellence and low priority is given to sports and extracurricular activities. Memorizing the concepts is the main role in learning. Next participant again Anna. This is the reason why the number of researchers and scientists are low in our country when compared to China and US, although our country is second highest in terms of population. By implementing learning by doing, we can increase the number of researchers in our country, which will be the strength of the nation. Maria again is expressing her opinion. Yes, I agree with you. But don't you think all these changes can be done only with the interference of the government changing the norms and rules of the institutions? Students to teacher ratio has to be decreased in order to successfully implement learning by doing, so that the students will have high probability of clearing each and every doubt they come across while they are learning. Next point is put forth by Ria. Yes, the change has to be compulsory and it has to be done only through government. The government should bring changes in the system and it should make learning by doing a compulsion, and it also has to provide necessities that were required to implement this system. Next opinion again from the Sam. Agreed, the institutions and the parents should also understand the necessity and recognize the importance of learning by doing. Only then positive results can be achieved. Now the conclusion of the group discussion. Learning by doing is the effective way to be practiced in education system. It is almost fully or partially practiced in many foreign countries and achieving good results. Our country also needs to adopt this system to see the remarkable changes in the growth of the economy. Learning by doing increases the students' imagination and creativity, which in turn helps to develop an individual on their own. Development of an individual can result in the growth of economy of a country. There is one topic for you which you can attempt. E-learning, a substitute for classroom learning. So you can take names of any four participants and prepare a group discussion considering the positive and negative sides of this topic. Well, That's all I have for you in today's video. Thanks for watching. Keep practicing and all the best.